I want to be among the first to welcome you, but to give the official welcome is the interim president of John Carroll University. Very recently, Dr. Colleran moved from being a beloved faculty member, from being donor, from being a person so present to the Catholic and Jesuit community of Cleveland, to now the interim president here at John Carroll University. Doctor, we congratulate you. We thank you for the wonderful way that you have helped us organize, and we anxiously wait your words. Dr. Jean Colleran.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Board of Trustees and our Board Chair, Michael Merriman, and the faculty and staff of John Carroll University, I wish to extend a warm welcome to the President of the World Union of Jesuit Alumni, Dr. Alain Deneuve, the Executive Committee and Council members, and all of you who have traveled far and near to be here this weekend. We are particularly grateful that there are so many Jesuits and provincials with us this week. Together we are 28 countries, and it is a great privilege for John Carroll to host the first WUJA gathering in North America since its inception in 1956. As a member of the class of 1976, I wish they quit writing that, but pat on the back. I am personally honored to welcome you, my fellow Jesuit alumni, to my alma mater. John Carroll University was originally known as St. Ignatius College and was founded in 1886 in downtown Cleveland by German Jesuits from the Buffalo Mission of the Society of Jesus. I will say as an aside, as things unfold here, our presidents have altered between fine German men and fine Irish men, now an Irish woman. So we will see what unfolds, whether we will be celebrating the Connaught ascendancy again, or whether we will have pride of place for another Jesuit leader. In 1935, the university moved to this campus, our 60 acres, and we are named for the first bishop of the United States, Archbishop John Carroll. As one of the 28 Jesuit colleges and universities in the United States, we are honored to have 3,000 undergraduate and 500 graduate students. We're very, very proud of our rankings in top Midwest regional rankings, #1 often for teaching, #1 for our Bowler School of Business and Employee Satisfaction, White House recognitions for our program in service and leadership, students who perform service at over 135,000 hours per year, none of which is required. Like all Jesuit colleges and universities, we take very seriously our mission to form men and women for other, with the character and intellect to lead and to serve. We are proud of our graduates who are thought leaders and change agents in every industry and field. I am so grateful to the host committee for bringing us together and providing us with the invigorating contributions of such an impressive slate of speakers and activities. And I am eager personally to meet many of you over the next several days as we learn from one another. I hope that you will enjoy our campus and our city. Like all of you, I am moved and guided by key principles of Ignatian spirituality. I have been inspired of late to think associatively about the word accompaniment and how this concept might be of particular value in higher education and its connection to Jesuit works. You may know that the Maryland Province Jesuits devoted an issue of their magazine a year ago to the spirituality of accompaniment. At first glance, we might think of accompaniment as intentionally journeying out to find and encounter, through God's grace, the place where we can meet the stranger and be a source of solace and support for each other. But in his book, The Name of God is Mercy, Pope Francis calls us to something more radical. Every time I go through the gates into a prison to celebrate Mass or for a visit, he writes, I always think, why them and not me? I should be here. I deserve to be here. Their fall could have been mine. I do not feel superior to the people who who stand before me. And so I repeat and pray, why him and not me? Francis's words refuse any principle of privilege, and they call on us to reflect on the spuriousness of thinking that what we have is deserved or earned. We overemphasize our own talent and agency, ignoring that the context of birth, skin color, wealth, nationality, gender, or history have set us on constructed paths that have nothing to do with individual merit. In place of the hubris of self-congratulation, accompaniment desires an attitude of listening and receptivity, and the posture of openness and mutuality. But we fear to accompany. We need to ask ourselves why and how we can educate ourselves and those we care for and those in our charge to banish this fear. I think this is a fundamental requirement in Jesuit education because as an intellectual disposition, not only an ethical, moral, or spiritual disposition, but as an intellectual disposition, accompaniment is at the heart of deep learning, deep interiorization of life-guiding truth, and the deep knowledge that leads to wisdom. At its basis, learning is fundamentally rooted in the incremental and at times profound encounters with difference. For us at Jesuit universities, the through line between learning and inclusivity is direct and necessary. To the extent that we never move on from what we already know, we are compressed into a small but limiting sphere of repetition, stuck in the nutshells of our impoverished self-definitions. We cannot expand. We cannot progress. We, the faculty of Jesuit schools, have the privilege of accompanying our students on what we hope is a lifelong encounter with newness and difference. We can start this learning within disciplines. We can ask our students what makes the difference in the periodic element, a periodic chart of elements, a neutron, a proton, an electron. What makes the difference between an F and a V, a breath of air, not even the position of our teeth on lips. This is how minute difference is throughout all creation. It is the fundamental task of education to take students deeper and deeper into the waters where difference is understood and eventually encountered with curiosity and bravery and lifelong commitment. This is not only, of course, a religious idea. The philosopher Jacques Derrida has suggested something related, though without religious moorings, but his words are beautiful in his famous essay, The Unconditional University. He says, "A real event happens only if the uninvited one enters your house and transforms it. The arrival of an uninvited newcomer is the real and best source of knowledge. Solidarity, hospitality, accompaniment. These concepts, when explored through an Ignatian lens, speak not only to learning, but also to the important connection between thought and work, between intellect and ethical and spiritual journeying, those we know and those we only know about. Accompaniment is the fundamental disposition that shapes all of our work of justice, dignity, and respect. Pope Francis has said that accompaniment and solidarity teaches us to remove our sandals before the sacredness of the other person. In doing so, we will indeed encounter that other person in suffering, perhaps even in something we find unapproachable initially or repellent. But as we come face to face with the created beauty of the individual, and in these incredible grace moments of solidarity, we do not know and do not need to know who is the follower and who is the leader. we are joined in communicative mutuality. Over the next few days, we will listen and talk and pray about the many ways of interiorizing this profound practice of Ignatian accompaniment. My prayer for all of us is that as Jesuit teachers, Jesuits, Jesuit alumni, we take hold of each other as we rush to meet God's grace and to bend the world and history toward justice and towards peace.